Good morning, dear students. In continuation to our talent management lecture series, today we'll be discussing about employee retention. When we talk about employee retention, we should be very clear and we should be very strategic in our approach that how to retain our talent so that we do not lose them to our competitors. And when we talk about talent management retention, we have got certain approaches to employee retention. One is broad-based approach and second is strategic approach. Under broad-based approach, we have retention versus turnover, employee satisfaction, policy enforcement, compensation and benefits. And under strategic approach, we have management development, value proposition, and marketing communications. A broad-based approach of employee retention, it simply means that your organization engages in business practices that foster good working relationships and a productive, satisfied workforce. It focuses more on general ethical business principles to maintain a stable employment relationship rather than specific retention programs such as bonuses, incentives, strategic plans to convince employees to stay. Under this, we have first retention versus turnover. Well, retention refers to percentage of your employees who remained employed by your company. And companies measure overall retention and departmental retention rates. Measurements also may indicate how long and how many employees stay in certain positions before they transfer to another department or are promoted to higher level positions. And turnover means the percentage of employees who leave the company through involuntary termination or resignation, which is called voluntary termination. So basically, companies need to focus on retention rather than turnover. So when you have retention strategies and policies at place, it will automatically lead to decrease in your turnover. Then employee satisfaction. Well, one of the most common reasons employees look for a new job is because they just aren't happy in their current jobs. Although some employees continually seek more money and better benefits, the underlying reason is dissatisfaction. Employers can resolve issues related to employee dissatisfaction in a number of ways, but the approach must be consistent so that employees will believe that company not only takes action when it is in crisis mode, but in continuation, in normal routine. It has to be a process. And improving employee satisfaction, it requires treating employees respectfully, providing a safe work environment, and engaging in fair employment practices. And employees who are satisfied with their jobs and the company are easy to retain. Then policy enforcement. All companies have workplace policies and guidelines. Employees should be made aware of workplace policies during the first few days on the job. That means when you are calling employees for orientation or induction programs, so they should be made aware of what workplace policies are. And once new employees learn how the business operates, the do's and don'ts of workplace behavior and the consequences of for violating company policies, it depend on their employer to enforce guidelines in a fair and consistent manner. For example, if a workplace policy states employees may not park in guest parking spaces that are closer to the entrance, this consistent and fair application means that the company president, even company's president, isn't allowed to park in a guest space, just so he have a shorter or more convenient walk to the entrance. So what we basically want to say, when there are policy enforcement, it has to be uniform. It should be for it should focus on overall workforce of the organization. Then compensation and benefits. Well, money isn't everything in the employment relationship, but it is an important factor that can make or break your organization. So paying the highest wages in the industry won't automatically guarantee your employees will stay. But there have trade-offs for paying too high wages that employers may regret. And the cost of employment includes base salary, incentive, benefit, and employer pay taxes. Adding all these costs to already high wages can make it difficult to companies to remain profitable. Compensating employees in an equitable manner and providing a good benefit package goes a lot further than locking employees into staying by paying wages that outpace the industry and labor market conditions. So basically, This what this is known as is golden handcuff strategy, wherein employers believe that they can retain valuable employees by paying them so much that they couldn't leave even if they want to. Now, golden handcuffs, they make it difficult for employees to leave because they know other employers are not likely to meet their salary demands. So it is not only through the salary demands you can create golden handcuff, but even deferred compensation, even benefits like executive development programs, certain training programs, and sending them off to very specific projects. They also they also can they also can be treated as a golden handcuff strategy. So a based approach for employee retention is paying employees fair, competitive wages, and providing a good benefits package that include health insurance and other coverage they can actually use. Then motivation and employee recognition. Well, the connection between motivation and employee recognition is an interesting because Herzberg outlined in his motivation hygiene theory that employees are motivated through employee recognition, and non-monetary employees wherein recognition is most effective form of motivation. For example, an employee who demonstrates excellent customer service skills, he should be recognized through promotion to a higher level position or given more complex tasks based on his outstanding performance. So, therefore, putting the high performing customer service agent in a lead role or assigning him to assist with training new customer service agents is an ideal form of recognition, and thus motivation, and it can lead to, motivated employees are more inclined to stay with company, making employees recognition a broad based approach to employee retention. Then we have employee communication. Employees usually stay with companies that value their contributions. Aside from actually telling employees that their skills, talent, and expertise are valued, employers can do other things to show how much they appreciate the workforce. And regular communication is one of the key factors to develop this. So, regular communication with employees, it suggests that the company cares enough about its employees to keep them informed of major changes, such as organization structure, um, and as well as seemingly insignificant matters, such as modification to department procedures. Well informed employees feel appreciated and are therefore inclined to stay with a company that keeps them in the loop on business activity. So, these were under a broad based approach. Under strategic approach, when we talk about, first is management development. Basically, management development is essential to an effective retention strategy. Management training not only should focus on skills such as coaching, delegating, and communicating, but also should prepare managers to meet and be accountable for specified standards of performance. Training cost can be determined by capturing the curriculum, material, printing, instructors who are trainers, facilities, and all that these can be calculated to take out the cost of the training. So management development is the strategic approach to retain your talent. Then value proposition. Well, a value proposition puts forward the organization's strengths. It identifies the needs that the organization can satisfy and how the organization differs from its competitor. To help pinpoint this unique competitive characteristics, organization can conduct employee focus groups or review or exit interview data to determine employees' initial perceived attraction to the organization and whether this perception is proved right or not. And to reduce turnover, managers must show a genuine interest in their employees' development and success. Employees do want to feel that their contributions are important and want employers to demonstrate their commitment to stated corporate values. In addition to this, their technical skills, employees also want to be appreciated for their work ethics, working well with customers and co workers, and performing high quality work. Then again, we have marketing communications. So, organizations must make their employees feel valued to earn their loyalty to the organization. One of the very effective tools for this purpose is marketing communications, which can be used to inform employees if the organization's vision direction and guiding principles, they are at place. Then effective organization use marketing communication to tell employees whether the organization is meeting its goals or not, and what needs to be done to get back it on track. Marketing communication cost involves such as factors: creation time, execution elements such as website, print, direct mails, posters, and focus group, and recognition efforts. So these are the approaches to employee retention which organizations should follow, and they follow depending upon the circumstance and depending upon the say size and nature of the organization. Then we have turnover. That what basically voluntary turnover. So turnover basically means departure, and a departure from an organization despite having the opportunity to remain. It is very important that when we say define voluntary turnover, that it is no doubt the departure from the organization, but he or she was having an opportunity to remain with the organization. That means he or she was not fired from the organization, and that is what makes voluntary turnover different from forcible turnover. So it is a type of turnover that occurs when employees willingly choose to leave their positions, and employees might choose to vacate their jobs for a variety of reasons. They may feel dissatisfied with their position or their compensation. They may be seeking a career change, or they may have an accepted another offer. And when we talk about the type of turnover, so voluntary, when an employee voluntarily terminates the employment relationship, or he or she generally gives the employer verbal or written notice of intent to resign from his job. That means person is volunteering himself, volunteering for the say cessation of the employment terms between employer and the employee. Involuntary, it is caused of layoffs, that means which were not under the control of either the employee or the employer. Sometimes because of the employer's say layoff and similar actions where the decision for an employee to leave is made by the company and not by the employee. So involuntary is which was not under the control of employee. So he was turned off because of the employer. Then desirable. Turnover is considered desirable when an organization gets rid of its underperforming employees and replaces them with new hires. Generally, desirable is which is creating hindrance in organization growth. That means which is desirable to get rid of in order to achieve targeted efficiency and performance of the organizations. So, desirable turnover is getting rid of underperforming employees from the organization. Then undesirable. Undesirable is as good as your, it is extension of voluntary. That means, but under voluntary is that any person is leaving from the organization may or may not be desirable for the organization. But undesirable is when you organization is losing its top performing employee. That means organization did not want them to go from the organization. So they it is a major concern for the organization not to lose these type of or these category of employees, because they are the employees who form the talent bank of the organization. So, voluntary turnover we have already discussed. Then, how to manage voluntary turnover? Because under voluntary turnover, you are losing both desirable as well as general your employees. So, there are certain you can say strategies through which you can manage your voluntary turnover. Uh, so, first is creating an environment that encourages trust and communication. So, give your employees new tasks or greater responsibilities with their current tasks. This demonstrates that you trust your employees and feel that they are competent to complete the assignment. Communicate to them what your expectations are and what the timeline for the assignment looks like. When the task is complete, give them feedback. So, you are creating and giving them right feedback and environment. Then give employees a goal and recognize a job well done. Organizations can do this by helping their employees develop a career plan. Managers should also help their employees set goals to reach at their expected professional levels. When goals are accomplished, let employees know that it has been noticed. So, organization should set up a small reward system to add incentive. This will help employees to feel more invested in and happy with their jobs, so causing them to be less likely to leave. Then invest in training employees. When we talk about investing in training employees, that means organizations need to provide the professional training and tools that they require to or they need to succeed. If a training course is needed or new office equipment is required for increasing organization efficiency, then organization should make the investment. This action on the part of company will make the statement that the employees are valued. When people feel appreciated, they are more apt to stay. Then remain competitive with other companies. You must not forget that you are operating in a environment and in a industry. Your work, you are operating where other competitors are also there in the market. So voluntary turnover can rise from an opportunity for a better job. So, what you need to do, you need to examine benefit packages, company's plan, health insurance coverage, vacations, and other benefits. And you must make it equitable or better than similar companies to reduce turnover. Because having said that, the employees do not go for monetary benefit, as it is not the sole motivator. It is not the sole motivator, but still it is the important motivator for the employees. Then also look at what is being paid to the employees. Determine whether your starting salaries are competitive with and whether promotions and raises are in line with or better than your competitors. Then do not overburden or stress out your employees. This is very, very important, talking about overburdening or stressing out employee or managing work life balance. So this is what these days is leading to more of employee attrition for the organization. So sometimes companies do add too much responsibility or pressure to existing employees instead of hiring new people to share the load. So this attempt to save the money can unintentionally backfire, causing dissatisfaction in current employees because he will be stressed up, he will be frustrated, and will not be able to maintain his work life balance. And dissatisfaction in current job will lead to looking him opportunity elsewhere, and instead keep employees workload and deadlines at a challenging and at a attainable level. So this is how you can manage voluntary turnover. This was all about turnover, how you can maintain and manage, and how you should have the approach towards your retention. Thank you.